is he?
He's prepped.
Oh, that has healed well.
What do you think that we do out there, Doc?
We've made the identity, we've powered through the supremacy, we've even been given the ultimatum. But now, with film fans set to experience the legacy, it looks like there's nothing that can keep one of the biggest action franchises in movie history off the big screen.
Okay, let's go.
It's Bourne, except without Jason Bourne. How's that going to work then? Well, I'm here to find out, and to lend a helping hand, I'll be recruiting the man charged with filling Matt Damon's shoes, as well as his co-star and their director, as we take a closer look at where the legacy of Bourne is going to be taking audiences next.
God, you know you're Bourne, Steve.
Well, I'm a big fan of them.
It's fun with a story like this to keep opening out new chapters.
In this, you're fighting a wolf.
What are you doing to us?
What's your name? Catechism? Will you give yourself to this program? Yes, sir.
Not content with 2 Oscar nominations in the past 3 years for The Hurt Locker and The Town, Jeremy Renner has also had his fingers in a fair few blockbuster pies as well. Having already signed up for Tom Cruise's last Impossible Mission, as well as joining the ultimate superhero team, he now has his sights firmly set on Bourne.
Right, Mr. Jeremy Renner, how are you?
I'm excellent.
Good. It would seem appropriate right now to talk about the Bourne legacy.
Yes, okay.
And indeed, the legacy which Jason Bourne leaves, and that legacy pretty much sucks immensely for your agent, Aaron Cross.
Yes. He ruined everything. No.
Because you were happy training and everything, and then suddenly troubles were brewing.
Yeah. That's the cleverness to the legacy is, and not an easy thing to do in a landscape of cinema where it's prequels and sequels and reboots and reimaginings and that sort of thing. It's actually just to pull back on the zoom lens to see like, oh wait, there's a lot of things going on.
Where are we going?
June. Your name is June Monroe. Say it.
June Monroe.
Say it.
June Monroe.
Now pick a place you live, the last place you live, the place you know.
Bethesda.
Bethesda, and that's where you live. Anybody ask? You're June Monroe from Bethesda. You lost your wallet, I'm driving you home. My name is James. James and June, you got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that your name?
James? No. What? You don't know my name? What do you call me? What do you put in my blood work?
5.
5. The number 5? You know how many times we've met? 13. 13 exams over the last 4 years. And that's what I get. Number 5.
I think it is really important to establish the fact that, yes, we live in the era of the reboots at the moment.
Yeah.
But this is far from that. This is very much a fourth Bourne movie, to the point that events that happen to Aaron Cross at the start are in direct relation to things that are happening simultaneously with the end of Supremacy with Jason Bourne.
Yeah, with the ultimatum, yeah.
Yeah, ultimatum, sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
God, you know you're Bourne, Steve.
Well, I'm a big fan of him, so.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about Aaron Cross, because he's a different kind of agent to the kind of agent that Bourne was.
Yeah. Treadstone bred, assassins, essentially. And not that Aaron isn't, it's just that it's a different program. So they learn from the mistakes they made in Treadstone to try to improve into outcome and create a different, more immersive type of assassin, agent, a lot of things, Not that they're better or worse, it's just different. And still, they try to improve upon that. It all goes to hell, and they're still running and gunning for their lives. So it doesn't really matter at the end of it, does it?
Jason Bourne is in Manhattan.
Confirmed.
What? That's all I have. Gotta go.
People, listen up. This is a national security emergency.
The FBI is investigating links between Treadstone and this man, Jason Bourne.
I go down for this, Mark. You were given a Ferrari, and your people treated it like a lawnmower.
You're asking me to wipe the most valuable assets we've ever put in the field.
You're gonna start to consider the magnitude of what we're facing if this moves sideways on us?
Meaning what?
Meaning we will burn the program to the ground.
Providing our hero with some much-needed antagonism, Edward Norton could have already co-starred with Jeremy Renner once this year, had he returned as the Incredible Hulk in The Avengers.
There is nothing that you wouldn't do for this country. You have the strength to do what's necessary.
But instead, they're going head-to-head in the Bourne legacy.
Edward Norton, it's great to see you. How are you?
Very well, thanks.
Good.
Yeah, good to be here.
Let's talk about the Bourne legacy and indeed your character, Bayer, who I'm going to say is the villain of the piece. Now, I don't think he probably thinks of himself as the villain, but I think the audience probably perceive him as such.
Well, I think when people hear the word villain, they think of someone who's like Moriarty, you know, who's enjoying what he's doing. And I think the nice thing about Tony Gilroy as a writer and a director is I think the real villain in Tony's pieces is the kind of the corporate institutional structure that corrupts everybody. Mm-hmm. And I think in this film, Jeremy's character, my character, Rachel's character, that they're all willing participants in this system, and then my character sort of is forced to do things that he doesn't want to do.
It's only one tantalising scene that you share on screen together, but I think it's probably about 30 to 45 seconds where you're actually out in the field in a flashback.
Yeah.
We need to talk. I need you to stop what you're doing and turn around. That's an order.
He's not happy about the things he's doing, but he believes that these very harsh things he has to do are his job, that they're necessary. He's not evil, but he's adversarial with Jeremy's character.
It would be perfectly normal for a person to have doubts about the morality of what we just asked you to do.
Is that a question, sir?
No, it's not. Tune into what I'm trying to say to you.
He does say some things that are very compelling. He does make you pause and think about whether, you know, he's right.
Do you know what a sin eater is? Well, that's what we are. We are the sin eaters. It means that we take the moral excrement that we find in this equation and we bury it down deep inside of us so that the rest of our cause can stay pure. That is the job. We are morally indefensible and absolutely necessary. You understand?
It's only one scene.
Yeah.
You kind of want more of that, and you'd hope in future films there'd be more of the two of you together.
Yeah, well, you realize they've had they are not. They're collaborators, you know. They've been in some degrees partners in this enterprise, and it gives some weight to the things that happen later. But I do think it's yeah. I mean, it's sort of like Heat. You know, there's only the one scene like between Pacino and De Niro at the diner. Like it's like, yeah. Hopefully you want more, but that's good. I think it's good to leave people wanting more.
Join me after the break when we'll be born again with more on the movie. See you in a bit. Welcome back to the Bourne Legacy movie special. Let's get back to the action. We may have a new Bourne, but the movie's continuity within the blockbusting series is safely in the hands of director Tony Gilroy. Having written Identity, Supremacy and Ultimatum, Gilroy now takes on megaphone duties for Legacy.
Tony Gilroy, lovely to meet you. How are you?
Very well.
The Bourne legacy. Let's talk about the legacy itself. I mean, you know Bourne inside out, obviously so, because you've been involved in every single movie to this point, right. Either in writing or in this time, yeah. Taking the director's chair. If you had to try and distill what it is about the Bourne movies that just struck a chord so much with audiences, what would you say it is?
I think really in the beginning, it was the intimacy. I think it was when we first started 13 years ago, everything was so bombastic at that point. Action movies were it was bigger, louder, everything was just huge and orchestral. And we sort of said, you know, I said, you know, if we do something really small and you really care about the person that's really in there, you don't need 50 helicopters coming over the horizon. If it's real, if it feels real, if you're emotionally really involved with this character, you know, things that hurt will really hurt.